Good morning, students. Welcome back to our economics class. As we have done with all the important questions, explanation and all from all these days, all the important questions, what you have to prepare, how you should write your answer, all these we have done in previous videos and all. Today, as your exams are near, only 1 day is left for your exam. Today, I'm going to explain you what all questions you have to revise. All the in detail we have done in our previous classes. Today, I'm going to tell you what are the important questions you have to prepare in LAQs for 30 marks, SAQs and VSAQs. Because when you prepare your answers, whatever answers you have prepared, be perfect in that questions so that you can write that answer confidently. Okay, so today, first let us start with our revision chapters. That is, what all questions you have to revise again and again. Okay, first coming to your LAQs. LAQs, as you know, 5 LAQs will be given. You have to write 3. So what questions you have to concentrate more? What questions we can expect? What are the repeated questions? Only those we are going to do here. So the first LAQ you have to prepare here is characteristics of developing economies. Characteristics of developing economies with special reference to India. Okay, what are the characteristics of developing economies with special reference to India? Like when you write this question, first give the introduction. Based on the income levels and GDP per capita income, countries are divided into developed countries and developing countries. The following are the developing features of developing economies. So what is the first feature here? Low per capita income. The income levels in the country are low, and in India also per capita income level is low. You give 3 lines of explanation here. Next, predominance of agriculture. Predominance of agriculture in most of the developing economies, they depend mostly on agriculture, right? The income from agriculture will be more compared to other sectors. And another one is capital deficiency. In developing economies, we can see there is lack of capital. When there is no capital, investments will be less. That will stop the development. Next, you have technological backwardness. In technological backwardness, here as they have low capital, they are backward in the technology. They cannot get new technology, or the research and development in technology will be less because of. Okay, so low capital, technology will be backward. Then next you have inadequate infrastructure facilities. Inadequate infrastructure facilities means the infrastructure such as road, transport, communication, banking will not be sufficient. All these facilities are not sufficient. Then coming to the demographic features, you can see in detail I have explained you in the previous classes. You can go through that one. This is just a revision I'm doing with side headings. Okay, demographic features means what you'll explain. Birth rates are high, right? Death rates are low. We have entered in the second stage of demographic transition, and population is increasing faster than food supply. That point that we can observe in developing countries. Next, another feature we can see, high rate of illiteracy. In developing countries, illiteracy will be more. Illiteracy means what? Educated people will be less. And most of the people are uneducated due to lack of education facilities and lack of people awareness about the education. Okay, mostly in India, if we see, female illiteracy is more than male illiteracy. Next one, dualistic economy. Dualistic economy, as developing countries follow both capitalist pattern as well as socialist pattern. So we call it as a dualistic economy. In India also, we have India, as we say, India is a mixed economy. So in mixed economy, we have private sectors are having their freedom. Along with that, public sectors are also doing rules and regulations which has to be followed by the private sectors. So we can say free market and controlled economy will be there in both in developing economies. Next, another feature is underdeveloped natural resources. Underdeveloped natural resources. So here we can see that in developing economies, the natural resources are not utilized to the full capacity and they are not identified. Some untapped natural resources are also there due to lack of infrastructure, lack of technology, lack of capital. This may be the reason for that. And another problem, another feature of developing economy is lack of entrepreneurship. Lack of entrepreneurship, because the entrepreneur system, lack of education is one reason, and mobility of labor is very less, due to which self-employment or entrepreneur system is very less compared to that of developed economies. And in developing countries, we can find unemployment. What do you mean by unemployment? People who are willing to work but could not find the job. Means they are eligible to work and they are willing to work, but they could not find any job. That is called as unemployment. And also in developing country, we find disguised unemployment. Disguised unemployment means what? More number of people are working than required. So mostly we find this type of unemployment in agriculture sector. In agriculture sector, if we require 5 people, complete family, 10 people are working together. So that situation, that type of unemployment we find in developing countries like India. Also, here we can see the social institutions, society. In India, if we observe our society, we believe mostly in joint family system. When there is a joint family system concept, mobility of labor will be less. They will stick to their region depending on non-agricultural activity, depending on agricultural activity, as well as one earning member will be there. So where they will restrict themselves only to particular needs. So that type of institution we can find, like caste, subcaste and all, we can find religious and social beliefs. People are very conservative and superstitious. These all we can observe in the developed economies, developing economies. Next, we have foreign trade orientation. Most of the developing economies, what they do, they import finished goods and they export raw materials. That is, they export the producer or capital goods. Whatever the resources are there, they export to the other country, which will be less cost. Whatever they are importing are the finished goods, which is of high cost, which results in deficit balance of trade. Okay, so that we can find mostly in the developing economies. So just go through these points in developing economies. This is compulsory question from first chapter for your LAQ. So remember the points here. What are the characteristics of developing economies? Per capita income is low. Agriculture will be given more importance, predominance of agriculture, capital deficiency, technological backwardness, inadequate infrastructure facilities, demographic features, high rate of illiteracy, dualistic economy, underdeveloped natural resources, lack of entrepreneurship, unemployment and disguised unemployment, social institutions, and foreign trade orientation. These are the characteristics of developing economies with special reference to India. Now, second LAQ you have to prepare, that is causes for rapid growth of population. Causes for rapid growth of population. So what is rapid growth of population? When population increases faster than food supply, we call it as population explosion. So what are the causes for population explosion in India? First cause is increase in birth rate. Second cause, decrease in death rate. And third reason is immigration. Immigration means what? People are moving from one country to another country in search of their livelihood. Okay, but in India, immigration is not the main cause of population. The two causes are increase in birth rate and decrease in death rate. So first we will see what are the causes for decrease in death rate. What are the causes for decrease in death rate here? First reason for decrease in death rate, elimination of famines. Elimination of famines. So in India, after British rule, the drought and all were controlled, eliminated. Famines are not occurring in India after British rule. So famines were eliminated here, and control of epidemics. Control of epidemics means what? The diseases such as cholera, those all were controlled, and other factors such as providing safe drinking water to the people, providing the proper sanitation, hygiene conditions, education, medical facilities, immunization. These all are the reasons for decrease in death rate. Now, what are the causes for high birth rate? Causes for increase in birth rate. What are the causes for increase in birth rate? See, what are the two causes? Increase in birth rate is one reason, decrease in death rate. Now we have seen why there is a decrease in death rate. Now let us see why there is an increase in birth rate. Here there are two causes. One is economical causes and other one is the social causes. Okay, so economical causes and the social causes. What are the economical causes here? The economical causes are predominance of agriculture. As more people are depending on agriculture, they require more labor. So what they used to feel, instead of getting labor from outside, all the family members can do the agriculture. So in agrarian society, children has been considered as also considered as a labor. So they can use their children instead of labor. And another economic factor is urbanization. In India, there is slow urbanization, which is stopping the mobility of labor, and which is one more reason for increase in the birth rates. And another reason is poverty. Poor people, what they feel, people who are below the poverty line, they feel that children are the source of income. As they have more children, they all can earn money and they can survive. So these are the economical causes. Now next we have social causes. Social causes, first one is universality of marriage. In Indian society, as marriage is compulsory, that is resulting in high birth rates and also lower age at the time of marriage. Lower age at the time of marriage. This results in increasing reproductive possibility, right? Then next, religious and social superstitious. Religious and social superstitious beliefs in the country that children are the gift of God. We should have more children, not take the fertility. Means they will prefer to have children because they are given by God. So that with that increasing in the birth rates. Next is the joint family system. Joint family system, as they are living in the joint family, they don't feel the burden of the children. And lack of education. Mostly we find in India, illiteracy is high as people are not educated, especially women. If women are not educated, they do not have idea about the advantage of small family. And use of contraceptives are very less. So these are all the causes for increase in the birth rate. Okay, so this is one more question you will prepare for your LAQ. Next question, how do you reduce inequalities? How do you reduce inequalities in income and wealth distribution? This is one more important question repeating every time, right? How do you reduce inequalities? So the causes, how do you reduce means what? Measures. Means what measures are taken to reduce income and income inequalities. First one is land reforms and redistribution of agriculture land. Land reforms and redistribution of agriculture land. That means here land reforms and redistribution of agriculture land. Whoever is land reforms were introduced in India, such as tenancy reforms, land ceiling act, abolition of intermediaries, abolition of zamindari system, where excess land those who are having is taken over by the government, and that land which is taken over is redistributed to the landless people so that inequalities can be reduced. Next, you have another measure is control over monopoly and restrictive trade practices. Control over monopolies and restrictive trade practices. Monopolies were controlled and there were restrictions on the trade practices, which is now with liberalization, more whoever the monopoly is there, they are merging with other small industries so that inequalities can be reduced. Another measure is employment and wage policy. Employment and wage policies. As we can see in India, various employment policies were introduced, such as National Rural Employment Program, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, right? Then Jawahar Rozgar Yojana, Nehru Rozgar Yojana. So these all have created employment in the rural areas, as well as wages also provided to the labor at a fixed price. Okay, so this way employment and wage policy has reduced the inequalities in the country. And social security measures. Social security measures are what? To provide security in the society. They have provided maternity benefit, provident fund, worksman compensation. If they suffer any injury or any accident, insurance claim will be done. So these all measures are taken for their security purpose. And minimum needs program. What is the minimum needs? What are the basic needs for the people to survive? Government is providing basic needs such as food. They are providing at subsidized prices through public distribution system. So through public distribution system, food is provided to the people. Shelter is also provided by the government to the people who are below poverty line. Means when minimum needs are provided, to a certain extent, we can reduce the inequalities. And next program they have taken is program for uplift of rural poor, such as resource and income development program, special area development program, and works program for creation of employment. And then taxation. In India, before everyone are eligible to pay the tax, but after India got independence, they have introduced progressive taxation system where higher the income, higher the tax will be paid. So these are the points you have to write, explain when your question comes as how do you reduce inequalities in income and wealth distribution. Next question you will be preparing. What are the causes for low productivity in agriculture? What are the causes for low productivity in agriculture? Generally, if we observe in developed countries, productivity levels are high. Though India is a developing economy, our productivity levels are low compared to that of developed economies. So what is productivity? Productivity means production per hectare. Productivity means what? Production per hectare is low in India compared to developed economies. Compared to developed economies. Why? What are the reasons for that? So the main reasons for low productivity in agriculture, we can say there are three reasons for low productivity in agriculture. That is general causes, institutional causes. You can just see simply, I'll explain you, you can understand this one. What are the causes? General causes, right? Then next we have institutional causes. And technical causes. These are the main causes. Means the causes for low productivity is divided into general causes, institutional causes, and technical causes. So we have categorized the causes into three types. So what are the general causes over here? In general, we see in rural areas, the society, the social environment. In rural areas, most of the farmers are uneducated. They are very superstitious. They don't want to adopt new techniques of production, due to which the productivity levels are low. And population pressure on land is very high. When population pressure on land, as you see, 70% of India's population live in rural areas. They depend on agriculture. So in that small land, when full family, all the family members are dividing the land into subholdings. So with that, pressure on land is increasing and productivity levels are decreasing. Another reason is land degradation. Land degradation means what? land is degrading its quality. Soil is losing its fertility because of overgrazing or because of soil erosion or usage of chemical fertilizers and all. In our agriculture, land degradation is done. In India, we can observe 45% of land is degraded and 5% of land has become useless for agriculture because of overgrazing and pollution and all reasons here. And another reason is inadequate infrastructure. Generally, for agriculture, we require infrastructure. Infrastructure means what? Facilities such as roads, transport, communication, warehousing, banking facilities we require for agriculture. But in India, we find these infrastructure is inadequate, not sufficient enough. So that is one reason for low productivity in agriculture. So these are the general causes. Coming to institutional causes, one is land tenure system. In our country, how the tenure system is there? Like we have faced zamindari system and all the tenants were exploited. So with which most of the farmers have lost interest in agriculture. So because of over exploitation of these zamindaris and also landlord and tenant system, these all have demotivated the farmers from agriculture. So that system is a reason for our low productivity. And size of land holdings. Most of the farmers in India are small and marginal farmers who have less than 2 acres of land. We can say 80% of farmers have less than 2 acres of land where they cannot produce excess capacity. Less than 2 acres means only small amount of production will be done. So that is one reason for low productivity in agriculture. And lack of entrepreneurship. Lack of entrepreneurship. In India, we do not have enterprise system which is there in the developed countries. So that is one reason. And deficiency of investments from government side means deficiency of investment. As there is a capital deficiency, more investments are not done in the agriculture sector, which resulted in low productivity. Next, what are the technical causes here? Poor techniques of production. Poor techniques of production are used in agriculture due to which productivity levels are low. Inadequate irrigation. Inadequate irrigation. The irrigation facilities are not sufficient to all the agriculture land. It is covering only 45% of total cropped area. Remaining cropped area have to depend on rainfall. So that is one reason here. And another technical reason is environmental degradation. Environmental degradation. So these are all the causes for low productivity. Compulsory question for LAQ, right? Remember, if you remember the side headings, you can write your answer easily. So what is low productivity? Production per hectare is called as productivity, which is low in India compared to that of developed economies. What are the reasons? General reasons are because of the society in rural areas, population pressure on land, land degradation, and inadequate infrastructure. Our institutional causes because of land tenure system, low size of land holdings, lack of entrepreneurship, and deficiency of investment. And technical causes are poor techniques of production, inadequate irrigation, and environmental degradation. So this is one question which is compulsory for your LAQ. And other LAQs you have to prepare is 1991 Industrial Policy Resolution. 1991 Industrial Policy Resolution. This is also a compulsory question here. What are the features of 1991 Industrial Policy Resolution? So in 1991 policy, we have abolition of industrial licensing. License is not compulsory to all the industries except 6 industries require license. That is liberalization. And another feature is public sector role diluted. Means the 17 industries which are reserved for public sector, now only 3 industries are reserved for public sector. Next, MRTP Act, which was introduced in 1969. Monopolies were restricted of trade practices and all the SIC units are referred to the monopolies for their survival. SIC units are referred to this one. Next, free entry of foreign investment and technology. So through 1991 policy, Indian government has opened up its economy. They have allowed foreign investments up to 100%. And even we can get the foreign technology without any restrictions and trade barriers, which we call it as globalization. Okay, so we can say 91 policy as liberalization, where industrial licensing is abolished, public sector role diluted, privatization, and foreign entry of free entry of foreign investment and technology, that is globalization. And liberalized industrial location policy. Liberalized industrial location policy. So they can locate in any area except where the population is more than 1 million. And another feature is removal of mandatory convertible clause. Means before 91, the loans which were taken from the financial institutions or banks was converted into equity. Conversion of loan into equity. Now that convertible clause has been removed. Loans are not converted into equity. So for this answer, you have to explain these features. Along with this, you should explain positive and negative impact. So this completes your LAQ 1991 policy. One more LAQ, compulsory LAQ we can say, that is development and welfare programs. Development and welfare programs in Telangana. In Telangana, what are the various development and welfare programs that were taken up here? So here we have the development and welfare programs for various categories. So after formation of Telangana state, various programs were introduced for the welfare of the people. So here we can divide the categories into welfare programs for all. Under welfare programs for all, we have Asara pension scheme. Pension is given to old people, physically challenged people who are low income. That is Asara pension scheme. Under Asara pension scheme, they are providing up to 500 to 1500 for disabled people, 1000 rupees for old age people, widows, toddy tappers and all. So that is Asara pension scheme. Then Arogya Lakshmi. Arogya Lakshmi scheme, under this program, nutrition is provided to the pregnant women through Anganwadi centers in the rural areas. Amma Vadi program. Through the scheme of Ammavadi program, government introduced to reduce infant and maternal mortality rate, just like our Janani Suraksha Yojana, to protect women and child they are providing. So government provide 12,000 rupees in 3 installment to those women who deliver their babies in the government hospitals. And Mission Bhagirath is to provide safe drinking water to all the people in Telangana. Okay, providing clear and pure drinking water. Then housing for poor. Under this scheme, government is providing double bedroom houses for the poor people in Hyderabad and other urban areas. And rice distribution. Rice distribution, 1 rupee kg rice is provided to all the people who have these ration cards. Okay, 1 rupee per kg. This is welfare programs for all. Next, we have SC and ST development program. SC development and welfare program. Under SC programs, what will be there under for the category SC? They have Kalyana Lakshmi scheme, which is like we can say providing 1 lakh rupees for a girl child for the marriage purpose. Next, Ambedkar Overseas Nidhi means the people who belong to SC category, they will get for education in the abroad, they get the complete financial support. Okay, 20 lakh amount is given to them. Another scheme is land purchase scheme. Land purchase scheme, government is purchasing the land and they are providing to the SC women who are landless to earn their livelihood. Then next we have ST development and welfare programs. ST development and welfare programs. See, SC category is different and ST category is different. Again for ST also same. Kalyana Lakshmi scheme. They will provide 1 lakh rupees for the girl child for marriage. Then economic support system. Economic support system means Telangana government is providing financial assistance to the scheduled tribe. Tribe means what? The people who live in the forest region. We categorize them as tribes. For them, economic support system is provided. That is financial support for their self-employment, irrigation or animal husbandry they'll be doing in the forest. And for tribes, they have Forest Rights Act. Means people who belong to scheduled tribe, they have the right to do the cultivation or agriculture in the forest region. Okay, so these are Scheduled Tribe Development and Welfare Program. Next we have BC Development and Welfare Program for backward class. BC Development and Welfare Program. For BCs also you can see the program, Kalyana Lakshmi program is there. Kalyana Lakshmi program, that is 1 lakh for girl child. Then for BC development, we have Most Backward Class Development Corporation. Most Backward Class Development Corporation. So for them, financial assistance is provided, right? And most backward classes, 1,000 crores has been allotted for providing skill development, training. All these they are provided here. Then next you have Minorities Development and Welfare Program. Minorities Welfare and Development Program. So for minorities, what are the schemes that were introduced by Telangana government? So same like Kalyana Lakshmi, For minorities, Shadi Mubarak scheme, where they will provide 1 lakh rupees for girl child marriage. Then bank linked subsidy scheme. Bank link subsidy. When they are providing, means bank link subsidy for minorities to set up self-employment. The financial assistance will be given from State Minorities Finance Corporation, which is linked to their bank. Then another program is training, employment and skill development program. Training, employment and skill development program. Means Telangana government has provided minority department with extended training and skill development program, where the people can go for self-employment, through which is financed through Minorities Finance Corporation, right, in collaboration with NAC and SETWIN. So these are all the programs that were introduced by Telangana government for development and welfare program. So when you are writing, this is compulsory question for LAQ. When you write these answers, divide the categories. First, development and welfare programs for all, right? Everyone. Then for SC, for ST, for backward class, and for minorities. So these are all the programs that were introduced by Telangana government. So with this, we have done with our LAQs. Now, I will tell you the SAQs, what all you have to prepare here. What questions I tell you, you just go through those questions once. Difference between economic growth and economic development. Difference between economic growth and economic development means these are the expected questions from exam point of view. Next question you will be preparing is causes for poverty. These all answers and all you have in the previous videos. Just go through that one. Causes for poverty, causes for unemployment. Next, types of unemployment. Only these questions you go through, that is enough. Types of unemployment, causes for unemployment, causes for poverty. Next, Niti Aayog. Measures for balanced regional development. Measures for balanced regional development. Next, NABARD. Green Revolution. Okay, Green Revolution, you can leave that. NABARD, then defects of agriculture marketing. Defects in agricultural marketing. Objectives of agriculture pricing policy. Objectives of agriculture pricing policy, right? And next question you will be preparing is next question, small scale industries. Problems and measures. This may come for LAQ also. Measures for small scale industries. Okay. So these are some of the questions here. Few more questions you can take. small scale industries. Then objectives of LIC. Objectives of LIC. Sources of renewable energy. Sources of renewable energy. Then next questions will be, after sources of renewable energy, you have to prepare with role of international trade. Role of international trade. Then you have difference between GATT and WTO. Objectives of WTO. Types of pollution. Sustainable development. Types of pollution, sustainable development, environmental degradation. Last chapters are very, very important for SAQs. First 5 chapters are important for your LAQs. Now, next question will be TS Transco and TS Genco. Educational profile in Telangana state. Education profile in Telangana state. And next question, after education profile in Telangana state, you have Kaleshwaram project. You should explain about Kaleshwaram project and health sector initiatives in Telangana. Health sector initiatives in Telangana. So these are the SAQs what you have to prepare. Already these explanation and all you have in our previous videos. Okay. So if you have any doubts or any answer, you have any problem, you can just go through our previous videos where you get all the answers. Only these questions you prepare perfectly. Easily out of these 8 questions compulsory you can write in your exam. Because out of 12 you're supposed to write 8. If you prepare with these answers, only simple answers if you prepare, easily 8 answers you can write from exam, for exam point of view. And for your VSAQs, after every lesson, when we were discussing in the previous videos, after every lesson I have done with VSAQs. Important VSAQs only I have explained there. Just go through that VSAQs. So hope you have done with your LAQs. See, LAQs, what all LAQs you are preparing for your exam here. Characteristics of developing economy with special reference to India. You can see here. Characteristics of developing economies with special reference to India. Causes for rapid growth of population. How do you reduce inequalities in income and wealth distribution? Causes for low productivity in agriculture. 1991 Industrial Policy Resolution. Development and welfare programs in Telangana. These questions you prepare. Compulsory, you can write 3 LAQs in the exam. If you prepare these questions, 3 easily you can write in your exam. And SAQs, if you prepare with these questions, compulsory you will write, you will get 8 out of this. So these are the questions from exam point of view. Hope you go through all these questions. Okay, students. So hope you all understood all the questions what we have done till now. So these are all the questions you have to prepare. Hope you prepare with all these questions. Thank you.